Hey, how's it? Yeah, it's me, your boy, Goji. And a couple days ago, I went fishing down at a loop down the road from where I live, right? And it was pretty cool. I didn't catch nothing. And that's kind of the draw of fishing. Because we were only there for like a couple hours. I mean, if I was giving all day, I could probably catch something. But as it stands, I didn't catch nothing. Um, and yeah, that's why I kind of like fishing, because like it doesn't matter how good you are, what kind of bait you use, because like there's a little bit of technique, like what kind of bait you use, and if you're not a bitch when it comes to reeling in the fish. But yeah, I don't really have much practice, and I wish I got more. So today I'm gonna teach you, yes you, if you do not know how to fuck, if you do not know how to do it yourself, I'm gonna teach you real quick how to line a reel. Okay, so this one kind of old, kind of stiff. So what you gotta do first is you gotta first thing you gotta do is you gotta make sure that this it works well. It doesn't snag, doesn't get stuck. Now this one is kind of tight, so you can't really get into it. Maybe if I put it on the road. Oh, and also I'm pretty sure that they sell them separately, but if your ride has doesn't come with this, then you have to buy them separately, or maybe you want to switch them out. What you do is there's this spinny thing on the side here, and it's supposed to I just hit the ceiling fan. You're supposed to spin it, and then this thing, this one's broken, so it kind of just moves freely, but there's little indentations, and you put it up in there in the top so that it hangs. You push this one up so I could do his thing. Then you spin up to lock it. A lot of spinning parts when it comes to reels. If you'll notice there's lots of spinning shit when it comes to reels. So then if you can just go ham on it, and it feels comfortable, don't worry about the rod going all over the place, because when you have a fish, it will hold it steady, because the fish is going to be pulling on it with the force, so then it will stay straight, like but whatever. So if we take this off, what you're going to do is you're going to take your reel, right? And if you went and bought it, then you get your line right here. And I wish I could turn the night mode on so I could see better, because I don't know what you're going to see in post-production. But post-production. And I'm going to come in closer. I took out my chair so I could show you up close and personal. Give me that light box. Yeah, that looks good. So you see, friend, you get your line, you get your reel. Now you see, whether it's taped down or whatever, you unhook your line, you give it a little bit of a tug, and you get something that can hold it in place. I have this knife sharpener. You put it over here, you put it down, or you could, because I don't know why. Maybe it's because, it's a circular figure or whatever. Well, what you do is you take out just a little bit, enough, and then what you do is you make like lasso, you know what I mean? So you take your string, whether or not you can see it in my hands or not. I should have like something in the back. Okay, so I went and found my guitar case for whatever. So what you do here is you take your string, you take your line, right? That's what the string is called. And you take your reel. You make what is essentially a lasso. And how you do that is you take your string. Oh, you can't see it on camera, just vaguely. And you make one big loop. You see, mine kind of did that on its own. And what you do is, basically, it's the first step. You know what, actually, it might be easier to just, make a noose. But what I like to do, or what I was taught to do, is you make a loop around the neck or the base or whatever. So you see, if you were to see here, there's one big loop, and I tied another loop around it, And what you do is you pull on that, so that it makes a circular shape. I still don't know if you can see that. This circle right here. Can you fucking see that? And then what you do is you take your thing, you make it big enough. Maybe you have to pull a little bit on the reel. What you do is you make it big enough to fit onto the reel. And then you take this, you get your reel. And the reason that I get this small kind one is because it would be alright if you went for the big one first, but I learned with the small kind one, and then I moved on to the one that I use, which is kind of big. It's my pole's like right there, or my rod or whatever. So what you do is you loop it around, and then you take the neck or whatever, and you pull. You just bring it down until it fits into the loop, and then you tie it shut, because you don't want that thing to spin. You don't want the bugger to spin. But then, oh fuck, I'm gonna break the glass. But then what you do is you gotta double knot it once or twice, so you know it. Actually, you gotta double knot the bugger once or twice, because you don't want that. You don't want it to come off. So I would suggest double knot it once or twice. Oh fuck, I just pulled it off. Okay, you know what? You might have to start over a couple times. And you might need to keep a knife with you, because, yeah, you can't just, like, fucking... Yeah, not my usual box cutter, but my box cutter is, like, way over there, and I don't want to grab it. Fuck. This job is really hard, I mean, not like, reeling the thing. It's just, I mean, if anything, it's just time consuming, but holy shit. Where the fuck's my knife? Which is just a different box cutter with a different blade. Fuck. And here, I'm gonna show you something that takes a little bit of dexterity, Okay, so what you do, right, is you take your line. Hey, this off center. The fuck? Okay, anyway, what you do is you take your line, you wrap it around one finger a couple times. You take your pinky finger, you wrap it around a couple times. You pull it down like this. And then what you do is you take your knife, you fit it underneath, and you can't go down, because once the string breaks, you're gonna cut your fingers. So what you do is you cut upwards away from your hand, and you pull down with the two fingers holding the strings, and then you just cut it off. Or you could fucking burn it off if you want to burn your finger. I don't fucking know. Up to you. So take this, I'm gonna make the loop again. I'm gonna pause this. Alright, so update. It was actually a lot easier to just make a noose. So, I don't know why I said update. I'm just gonna continue. So anyway, you pull it around here, and like you do with normal nooses, you pull the thing until it's nice and tight. What you want to make sure though is when you're doing this, you have the thing up like this. When you throw it, you have to pull this thing up, then you throw it, pull it back down, because you see the line feeds through this little groove right here, and that's how you keep the traction when you're spinning it. So what you want to do when you're actually knotting it is, what you want to do is you want to boom, bring it up, because it does make it easier when it's up, so that you can actually get the rest of the reel on there, because this isn't the full reel. Oh, you're not using all the line. You gotta save it for later when you fuck up your line. So then you tighten it around. I use this torquing motion because it's easier for me, but and like a noose, this little extra bit here that isn't connected to the rest of the line, I mean technically it is, but it really holds nothing. This one you can get rid of, because fuck, it doesn't mean nothing. Because once you get this torquing motion and it doesn't go anywhere no more, it's really just there to bug you. So I'm gonna go lock my door. Okay, now look, this is a callback to an earlier video. If you were looking up how to line a fishing rod and you came across me, then you're not gonna understand this. And I'm not trying to, sell the rest of my channel to you, but because that little extra bit on the line when I was doing this, it's not long enough to do my trick or cut it. And because I said, oh, you could burn it, whatever, and so I'm gonna demonstrate how you would burn it. So if you could see this extra bit of line that's kind of just sticking out right there, I'm holding it. What you do is you take your lighter and you just burn it off like that. And then of course, you do have to be careful though, because if you burn too close to the stem or whatever, then you're gonna burn the entire thing off. But if you I keep forgetting that you can only see so far. So what you need to do is you see this is the long line, but this little curved little bit right here, this is the excess. So what you do is you see the ceiling fan is creating wind and it's kind of blowing it around. So it's actually, it might get in my beard, it might get on my fingers. So you gotta be careful. And you always gotta make sure you don't want to come from the top, because fire goes up. So, because fire goes up, and what you want to do is you want to come back from the bottom. It may be a weird angle for some of you, maybe it isn't. So, oh fuck, and then a little bit of it might drip off onto your fingers. So, and this is why it's not really as good in my opinion to this, because I'm not really good at burning things. So I think that it will be easier, just take this and then cut it off at the end. But some of you might be try hard, might be edgelords. Some of you might be edgelords, and you know what, maybe you want to do a mundane action, Miller Grove kind of shit, or like you want to do something normal but you want to do it cool. So is this, or maybe you don't have knife on hand. I don't know how you don't have knife on hand, so you kind of just been burning everything. You fucking arsonist. How do you have a knife? How do you have fire but you do not have a knife? How the fuck do you do that? But anyway, yeah, I don't know what the word is, but I think it's coagulate. Oh, there's a fucking ant on my light box. Oh, fuck. Fuck. See, this is what I was warning you against. This is what I was warning you against. I burnt off the part that I wanted. So that means... fucking hell. So, you can't leave this on your rod, because then it's gonna look disgusting. So, what we gonna do is, fucking, I don't know. I'm gonna pause this, I'm gonna come back. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is call one simple yet somehow advanced technique. So what you do is you make your noose, and before you even put it on, you see the excess bit right here. You see this excess bit right here. What you do is you put it on a surface, which I'm gonna use as this box right here. You can't see, and I'm gonna use box cutter. You just line it up. If you don't notice, you just gonna line it up and cut straight down. Oh, fuck. I'm trying to look cool while I do this, but fucking I can't. But what you do here is fuck. It's gonna really piss me off. Now, this is what happens every time when you go fishing or somewhere in the ocean. Is not really guaranteed, not really guarantees that you're actually gonna get anything. Never guarantees when it comes to the ocean or nature. That's why sometimes you can go fishing and you'll never catch a single fucking thing, which is basically what happened for me I'm not salty about it. It's not really that bad. It's like just the way things is, you know. So Garans ball barons. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop it here. Actually no. So the next step is what you do is so basically next step what you do is you find some sort of place to put your little device right here. And what I did last time when I was doing my rod was, you see, there's a box that holds all my clothes on top of a bookshelf or whatever. It's like right there. And what I did is what I do, or what I did rather, is first thing you do, you take your thing and you put it in the pot that's supposed to hold the line in other circumstances. And what you do is while you're holding your rod, and when I mean rod, I don't mean this rod. I mean the thingy, the reel. And what you do is you just brother, fucking God fun it. So you see, you get a little something like this. I don't know if in post production you're ever gonna actually, see that. But what you do is you take your chair, you bring it so that you're, oh you fuck, you take it so that you have it facing your thing. And what you do is you hold this, you pull the top thing down, and you line it. And then what you do is you line it up with this little groove here, with the groove on your thing. And you make sure you're as lined up with the thing as you can be. And then what you do is you start reeling in as if you caught one fish, as for a fairly long time, like maybe 20 minutes. But you gotta reel slowly, you see, because what you want to do is what you're doing is you're feeding the reel. And you see, you can only go all crazy kind when you actually get the fish, because then, there's slack or whatever. So what you do is you do this kind of slowly. But you can't really take your time, You can take your time, but me, when I was doing my thing, is oh, the fuck, it got tangled around the stick I had. So, what you can do is, and then if anything, you can pop the thing up, you can just wrap it around normal. But me, I kind of like to just, spin it, because, and I'm acting like I'm an expert at this. I'm not really an expert, because I can't really catch a fish, because I just rely on luck, and there are other methods that I just don't care. Oh, fuck. Okay, cool. Now, your string, your line will get tangled sometimes, but all you gotta do is reach over, and you gotta fix the fucking tangled. You gotta mess around with your surroundings just a little bit. If you gotta mess around with your surroundings just a little bit, that's okay. Because fuck, you're gonna be messing with a whole lot more later. So what you do is, see, I have it so that it's tightly put in there. And, it's aiming slightly up. And because the reason why you need so much tightness is because when you pull it, you want to make sure that, there's no slack, because then it's going to get all tangled. So you got to make sure that there's enough tension. Because if there's not enough tension, you'll lose, the straightness of the line, and it's gonna be really bad. But what you do is you sit here, you struggle for a very long time. And the reason why you struggle for so long is because not only do you want to be able to throw this out pretty far, because then, like, if it's like right next to you, then the fish already ran away, they know what you're doing. But if um, say you're gonna be around, but if a fish catches on, then you want to make sure that you have enough line for that bugger to go all over. Like, you want him to go run around, because then if it's all stiff and your line doesn't go very far, then it's going to get to a point and he's going to be like, oh, this is as far as I can go. And then he's just going to, break it, because fish have a way of breaking the line. Even though the line is very strong, they do have ways of breaking the line. And I would think that it's kind of easy for them, because, they kind of have to deal with that all their lives, If you catch a baby, throw it back, then later on, you might catch them again, whatever. But you might catch them even multiple times. Like, I swear to God, sometimes you'll catch a fish, and you'll swear to God you saw the exact same fish 2 minutes ago. You're just feeding him because he knows that he's not going to get taken in. So, and you know what, why wouldn't you? Because if there's food just falling from the sky, and all you have to do is, hold your breath for like 10 minutes or whatever. Hold your breath for a little while, and then they're going to throw you back with more food. Why wouldn't you take it? And I mean, yeah, it's going to fuck up your mouth in some time, but, whatever. So I think that once it gets to this sort of thickness and density, let me grab my thing. Once it gets to a certain density like this, where you're pretty sure that if you were to touch it, like maybe your fingernail can clip through it, then you know that you've done it well. And what you do is you pull back just a little bit. So you see, I think I still need the light. So you see, there's enough. Where the fuck's the thing? Okay, so you can see it. Wait. So you can see it on camera. It's just out of focus. And this is when I think that it's easier to just. There we go. Very nice. Oh, fuck. Yeah, you do need to keep tension on it, though, or else, it's just gonna go all over. How the fuck did you get outside for? No. This is called a manual turn. I'm making that up as I go. Because I can. Ah, fuck! The cussing and the mistakes are most definitely necessary, as I am learning this as you are. And oh my fucking God. Although you don't have to cuss as much as I do, but cussing does come with the territory. It's kind of like being a sailor, you know what I'm saying? Because the sailors have to fish all the time, and the sailors, they don't talk the best, they don't use they use their words, but they use them in a way that most people would find unsavory or not polite or whatever, but I'm really good at talking with sailors. Okay, so once you get to the desired length and you have a good enough tail, you gotta make sure that the tail is short, though, you see, because you don't want it flopping all over the place. Usually most reels, they have this little clip right here, and what you do is you take your tail and you just push it in that clip so I can hold it in place. Now, you can't really play with your reel as much, because then it's gonna get tangled and it might whip you in the hand. I mean, the way I have it, it's not really going anywhere, but it could break, it could fall out the clip, smack you in the face, get tangled, whatever. So, what you do is, the riskiest part for me right now is you grab your pole, your rod. Now, mine doesn't really,
I can't touch the ceiling fan. So we're kind of safe. We got a little bit of safety. So, turn this on. I'm going to turn this on. And this is just because I'm doing this at night. If I was doing this during the day, you could probably just see it better. So, you know, push it up in there. Pull the thing. And make sure that it's tightly onto the thing. Because it may not... Because through the tension alone, it might come off. So then you get the little spinny thing. Now come over here. This should actually be self-explanatory, but you know what? Some people, they don't touch these things. They don't know what to do. And if you're one of those people, I am sorry. But I'm still gonna think you're an idiot. But that's okay. We're here to learn. So what you do, you have it like this, right? And then you take the tail off the clip. And you see there's rings. Oh shit, I should have kept it on the clip. But anyway, so then you take this, and you make sure that it's on this side of the groove, because if you try spinning it later, it's not going to work. And what you... Yeah, make sure it's on that side of the clip, but then you pull it down like this, so that, you know, you have all this slack. And then what you do is you put it through all the hoops, or rather, because I don't really know what they're called on actual poles. I don't really talk to fishermen all that much. I probably should. They're really fun to talk to. This one in particular only get three hoops, but on the one that I use, or that I've stolen from my parents, I think I stole it from my father. The one I use, it's got maybe 6, maybe 7. And you know what? I'm pretty sure that there are some fishing rods or poles that have way longer hoops or way more hoops, and you know what, I don't think I could do those, because they just seem like too much effort for me, because then like it's an actual task. So what you do, yeah, you get it through your last hoop, and what I like to do is I take a lead, and what you do with this is, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a noose like I did earlier. Can you actually see that? Okay, I'm gonna take off my shades, and I'm just gonna make sure that it's far away from my face, but you can still see it. So what you do is you start off, you make one noose, okay? Boom. If you don't know how to make a noose, good for you. It's not like and also, like, can we talk about nooses for a second? Because noose is really nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a way to tie your thing. It's just a way to tie ropes in a certain way, but it has a certain connotation, you know, because, you know, cowboys, whatever, they get killed by the noose, whatever. And I'm not gonna say like, oh, that's stupid or whatever, because, you know, I believe that you can really give any meaning to what you want, and but you also have to respect, up to a point, what kind of meanings is given to, you know, certain things. That, because you know what, like, I believe that you don't have to be a crowd pleaser, you know, but, you know, it's not really cool to be like, oh, what you say is dumb just because I don't really care about it. Like, you gotta, like, just be respectful, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, some people, they'll walk around. Oh, by the way, I did this. You put the loop of the noose, the part that you're usually gonna care about, and you put it through the lead already before you tie it down, because, you know, it's gonna make it easier. And what you do is, you know, you make the noose. See, 2 loops. See, you start 1 loop, and then you bring it. You pull it like this. You see the excess wagging out right there. Then you bring it up, put in your other finger like this. So now you get 2 loops. And what you do is you bring it up to the first loop above your pointer. And you just pull it, and you loop it around 1 or 2 times. 1 or 2 times. I like to do 3 because, you know, it feels more stable. And because whenever I tie nooses, I like to get like the big turtleneck kind. So then what you do is you take your excess, you put it through the second loop, you pull, then you take the first loop and you pull the side that's connected to the second loop, and you pull it, you pull it, you pull it, it's tied. So it's like this. And you know what, you do want to leave this excess here. You don't want to take this off, because if your hook don't got no starter line, then you're gonna need that. So then you pull back, so it's all up, and it just goes right up to the hook, to the lead, and it's right there. And I'm not saying, and it's lead. Boom. Now I don't have the hooks around me at the moment, so, and you know what, this is just lining your hook. Lining your rod. You don't really need the hook right now, so I'm just gonna leave this excess. The reason I get this, okay, you know what, it's inevitable, it's gonna get to my face. Don't worry about the beeping, that's just my alarm or whatever. The reason you want the lead is because it's gonna weigh down your line. Well, what you do is you get over here, you bring it, you pull the, and then you delete a whole bunch of videos on your phone so you can make space for the rest of your video. Whether you not, you mentioned that in the video that you're making, up to you. Whoa, shit. I only said it because I think that honesty is really the best joke. Because I think that honesty is the best joke of all. So, what you do is you take your rod and you spin it up until the lead comes up. And the reason you have the lead is so that there's tension, as if you're pulling in a fish. So then you pull it, 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 boom. Now the thing about this is, right, you're not gonna hold it like this. You're not gonna bring it to the beach like this. Basically, I showed you that second part just because that's what you do when, you know, no shit. Usually you give the thing a lot of slack. Like if I was to undo the clip right here, and then, you know, the lead will do its thing. It'll bring it down. Giving you enough space or whatever for put on your hooks and your bait and your fucking whatever floaters. Basically, this is just it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this off at the lead, and then I'm just gonna spin it back down. But basically, that's pretty much how you do a line, and that's it. That's all there is. It's really easy. And you know what? Because I'm gonna do a little experiment right now, because I think that this might attract more people to watch. Maybe you're clueless or whatever, but I'm gonna do a little experiment. If I remind you to like and subscribe to me, will it do anything to my analytics? Which I am not going to show because that shit is boring and it's at the end of the video. But like if you enjoyed this or if this was helpful. Subscribe if it really matters, if you want to see more, because I do post every day. And then comment insults at me if you can. If you can insult me, I'll take it. If you can compliment me, I'll call you a kiss ass. Okay, I usually don't say bye either, but, you know, bye-bye.